Volcanoes are some of the most powerful and fascinating geological formations on our planet. The incredible forces of nature that cause them to erupt are both terrifying and awe-inspiring. But despite the danger they pose, volcanoes also attract a lot of attention from scientists and tourists alike. In fact, there's even a term for people who are fascinated by volcanoes: volcanology. So if you're one of those people who can't get enough of these majestic mountains, then get ready to learn more about one volcano that's been making headlines recently: El Teide. El Teide is a dormant volcano on the Spanish island of Tenerife in the Atlantic Ocean. It's the highest peak in Spain with an elevation of 3,718 meters above sea level, and it dominates the landscape of Tenerife, which is part of the Canary Islands archipelago. While it has been quiet for a while, there have been recent signs that it may be coming back to life. In this video, we will discuss what these signs are and what might happen if it erupts again. If you love anything to do with space, then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Volcanoes can be classified into three types: active, dormant, or extinct. An active volcano is one that has had at least one eruption in the past 10,000 years. A dormant volcano is one that hasn't erupted in a long time but could potentially erupt again. And an extinct volcano is one that won't erupt again because its magma chamber has been depleted. So where does El Teide fit into this classification? Well, it's technically classified as a dormant volcano, but it was once thought to be extinct. However, in recent years, scientists have detected increased seismic activity around the volcano, along with signs of rising magma and changes in the shape of the mountain itself. These signs have led to speculation that the volcano could be waking up after a long slumber. In fact, there were actually several earthquakes on the island in September 2021, and many people were evacuated due to fears that the tremors could trigger a volcanic eruption. While no eruption occurred, the earthquakes were still a reminder of the potential dangers posed by the volcano. The last time El Teide erupted was between 1909 and 1917, when lava flows destroyed several villages and killed several people. Before that, it had been quiet for over 500 years. The small earthquakes that occurred in 2021, although not directly related to volcanic activity, were still concerning. This is because they happened close to the volcano, and could potentially be a sign of increased pressure building up beneath the surface. Increased pressure is often associated with magma buildup, which can lead to volcanic eruptions. Additionally, the earthquakes were relatively shallow, which means that they occurred close to the Earth's surface. Shallow earthquakes are more likely to be caused by volcanic activity than deep earthquakes. Another sign that El Teide may be preparing to erupt is the increased frequency of small earthquakes. Minor earthquakes are a common occurrence in areas with volcanic activity. They are caused by the movement of magma beneath the Earth's surface. If magma is building up in the chamber beneath El Teide, it could explain why we've seen an increase in minor earthquakes in recent years. These earthquakes are usually too weak to be felt by humans, but they can be detected by sensitive instruments. Scientists monitor these minor earthquakes closely because they can be an indication of increased volcanic activity. In addition to earthquakes, scientists also monitor other signs of volcanic activity, such as changes in the shape of the mountain itself. If magma is building up beneath the surface of a volcano, it can cause the mountain to bulge. This is because magma is less dense than the surrounding rock, so it pushes up on the surface. Scientists can measure changes in the shape of a volcano using a variety of techniques, such as satellite imagery and ground-based radar. Changes in the shape of El Teide could be an indication that magma is building up beneath the surface. But what exactly is happening beneath the surface of El Teide? To answer this question, scientists use various methods to study the volcano. One of the most effective methods is seismic monitoring. By recording the strength and timing of earthquakes, scientists can get a better understanding of what's going on beneath the surface. Another method is by using a technique known as gravity measurements. Gravity varies slightly depending on the density of the materials beneath the Earth's surface. Changes in gravity can indicate that magma is moving beneath the surface. By measuring changes in gravity, scientists can get an idea of how much magma is beneath the volcano and how it's moving. Scientists also use remote sensing technologies like satellites and aerial vehicles to monitor El Teide. Satellites can provide high-resolution images of the volcano, allowing scientists to track changes in its shape over time. Aerial vehicles equipped with special sensors can also be used to collect data about the volcano. All of this monitoring has led to some interesting discoveries. For example, Scientists have found that the magma chamber beneath Teide is much larger than they previously thought. They've also discovered that the magma isn't just sitting in one place but is actually moving around quite a bit. This is why they've been able to detect changes in the shape of the mountain and the minor earthquakes. So what does all this mean for the people who live on or visit Tenerife? Well, the good news is that scientists don't believe that Teide is due for a major eruption anytime soon. However, they do believe that there is a chance that it could erupt in the near future. If it does erupt, the most likely scenario is that it would be a relatively small eruption. However, there is always the possibility that a larger eruption could occur. In the event of a major eruption, the lava would likely flow down the sides of the mountain, destroying everything in its path. Fortunately, the population of Tenerife has been growing rapidly in recent years, and the vast majority of people live away from the volcano. This means that the number of people who would be directly affected by a major eruption is relatively small. Still, it's important to remember that even a small eruption could cause major problems. For example, ash from the eruption could disrupt air travel, and the lava could damage important infrastructure such as roads and bridges. That's why it's important for scientists to continue to monitor the volcano closely. If an eruption does occur, it's important that people are prepared. Local officials have developed emergency plans in the event of an eruption, and these plans include evacuating the areas that would be most affected by the lava flows. In addition to the official emergency plans, it's also a good idea for people to have their own plans in place. If you live on or visit Tenerife, you should know what to do in the event of a volcanic eruption. This includes knowing what to pack in case you need to evacuate quickly, having a plan for where you would go and how you would get there. While it's always important to be prepared for natural disasters, it's also important not to be too worried. Volcanic eruptions are relatively rare events, and the chances of one happening are slim. Plus, the local authorities are constantly monitoring the volcano and will take action if necessary to protect the people of Tenerife. So while it's important to be aware of the potential dangers of living on or visiting an island with an active volcano, it's also important not to let fear get the better of you. Teide is a beautiful mountain, and the people who live on Tenerife are lucky to have it as part of their landscape. Just remember to be prepared and enjoy the stunning views. Now you need to watch. Did ancient Greek statues come to life in the Italian volcano eruption, or have a look at this video instead?